Hello, my people. Good day to you, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whatever time zone you're listening to this, thank you for tuning in every single day to listen to me on Daily Mindshifts. My name is Michael Ojola from Mindset Transformation Africa, and on today's episode, I want to talk about something that will trigger a lot of people as it triggered me. All right, let me anchor today's episode on this statement. When was the last time you allowed people in your life to give you true, raw, and honest feedback without fear of consequences from you? Maybe that is why you are not becoming better. When was the last time that you allowed people in your life to give you true, raw, and honest feedback without fear of consequences from you? Maybe that is why you are not becoming better. Think about that for a second. I'm not talking about polite compliments. I'm not talking about licking your asses or surface level suggestions. I'm not talking about sycophants' way of finding their way into your life and just saying what will please you. I'm talking about the type of feedback that makes you squirm. The type of feedback that will trigger all the things you thought you've overcome for years. The kind of truth that is so unfiltered, it feels like it burns when you hear it. If you cannot remember the last time, or if you've never truly opened that door, I have a hard truth for you today. Maybe that is why you are stuck. Maybe that is why you are not becoming better. Maybe that is why your life is just average. Let us start with this, okay? Why do we resist honest feedback? I think because it is real. Like it is raw, but that is not where I want to start from. There are a few reasons that I want us to consider. Number one is the fear of hearing the truth. The fear of hearing the truth. Let's not sugarcoat it. Truth can hurt. It is like looking in the mirror that reflects not just your strength, but also your flaws, your weaknesses, and your blind spot. Imagine you have a mirror in your house that the moment you stand in front of that mirror, you see everything about you. Everything, not just your beauty or the pancake that is on your face. No, it's pure everything, including the things that you don't want people to know about you. And I'm not talking about only physical appearance here. I'm talking about everything about you. All your secrets, all your flaws, all your weaknesses, all your blind spots. That's scary, right? That level of vulnerability can be scary. And that sometimes is who we are. We are scared of hearing the truth. And sometimes it's easier to look away than to face the truth that is before us that see. You are just an egoistic maniac. The truth that is staring you in your face that see. You have low self-esteem. That's why little words trigger you. Those things, those hard truths, is easy to look away than to face the truth that you are just a disrespectful asshole. And also, ego gets in the way. That links with what I just said now. Your ego loves to protect you. It whispers to your ear, you're doing fine. It cannot be you that is wrong. It is them. They don't just understand you. That is why they are hating on you. You don't need to change. You're perfect the way you are. You're just cool. You're cool. This is how God made you and all that bullshit. But here's the thing. The ego is not your ally. In your growth, in your desire to be better, your ego is not your ally. It is the barrier. It is the problem. It is the problem. And then we're scared of vulnerability. I said it before. When you allow someone to give you raw, honest feedback, it means you are letting your guard down. You're letting down your guard. It means you are admitting that you don't have it all together. And that is scary for a lot of people. Oh, I won't lie to you. It is scary as fuck. When you open yourself up to feedback, another fear is the fear of losing control. You are giving someone else the power to speak into your life, and that can be scary too. And that loss of control can feel intimidating. Do you understand me? It can feel intimidating. So that those are the few reasons I believe we resist honest feedback. But this is what I want you to remember, all right? Growth and comfort never coexist. If you want to become better, you have to be willing to step out of your comfort zone and into the space where honesty lives. Let me hit you with a truth bomb here. I want you to tattoo this truth in your mind. You cannot grow if you don't know. Tattoo it somewhere that you can see it. You cannot grow if you don't know. I want you to think about this. When you look at yourself, you only see what is visible from your own perspective. But there is an entire side of you, we call it blind spot. There is an entire side of you that you cannot see without someone else holding up a mirror to you. You cannot see it. Maybe you are unaware of how your tone comes across in conversations. I hear this a lot. Maybe you don't realize how your habits affect the people around you. I'm having issues around this with some people. Maybe there's a pattern in your life that everyone else sees, but you don't. See, without feedback, you will keep walking around with this blind spot, wondering why things are not working the way you want them to. See, there is consequences to every of our action, and also there is consequences to avoiding feedback. Number one thing is you are stagnant. Stagnation is one of the key consequences of avoiding feedback. If you are not open to feedback, you will stay stuck, period. You cannot improve what you don't acknowledge. Do you understand me? So you will stay stuck. You will have various broken relationships. Sometimes the things we refuse to hear about, the very things, or let me say it like this. The things we refuse to hear are the very things damaging our relationships. If people in your life feel like they cannot be honest with you, resentment builds. Resentment builds because they cannot be honest with you. They will keep hiding things inside your heart, and before you know it, it builds resentment. And then you start losing opportunities. Feedback is often the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. So by rejecting it, you are essentially closing the door to growth. You are essentially closing the door to opportunity. Then you start building false narratives. Without feedback, you create your own version of reality. You convince yourself you are doing great, even if there is room for improvement. You convince yourself that you are not that bad. That no, it's them. They are the problem. They don't just understand me. He doesn't just understand me. She doesn't know who I am. It's not me. And those false narratives can lead to bigger issues down the line. So it's important for you to know these consequences if you are still bent on avoiding feedback. See, having people around you are very important. It's important that let us talk a little bit about the people in your life. Who do you have in your circle that is willing and able? Now, it's one thing to be willing and it's another thing to be able to give you raw, honest feedback. Because here's the thing, not everyone in your life is equipped to do this. So, some people will only tell you what you want to hear. Others might hold back because they are afraid of how you will react. But the people who truly care about your growth and your well-being, they are the ones who will risk discomfort to tell you the truth. They will risk even breakup to tell you the truth. This is the question I want to ask you. Are you creating an environment where those people feel safe to speak up? Or are you shutting them down with defensiveness, with excuses, with anger? It's important for you to ask yourself. Let us ask ourselves this question. Here's the moment of truth. This is still early in 2025. It is important for us to change the way we look at things so that the things we look at will change. So how do you now invite honest feedback? The first thing is to ask the right people. Look for people who know you well and care enough about your growth and ask them. Avoid asking people who are overly critical or who don't have your best interests at heart, and be specific. Instead of saying, do you have any feedback for me? Ask specific questions like, how do you think I handled that particular disagreement I had with my colleague? Are there any habits I have that you think might be holding me back in life? What is one thing I could improve as a leader, as a friend, as a partner, as your romantic partner or your significant other, whatever? What one thing do you think I could improve to improve myself in that area? Create a safe space also. Reassure the people that you are open to hearing the truth, even if it is uncomfortable. Let them know there won't be any negative consequences for your honesty. You need to also listen without defensiveness. Resist the urge to interrupt or justify yourself. Take a deep breath and truly listen to what they are saying, and finally reflect and take action. All right. After receiving feedbacks, spend time reflecting on it. Decide what changes you need to make